Hello fellow humans and welcome to the Madhouse. I'm Josh and today is Wednesday, so it's time for Top 5 Wednesday. You know what this is by now, I hope, and if you don't then I say top 5 things. It was created by Lainey of Ginger Eats Lainey and all of the relevant links will be down below. Today's topic then is your favourite fictional cities, and if you can't guess which city is malodorously lingering at the top of my list, you probably haven't been paying attention. Seriously though, if you're new here I'll forgive you, but otherwise you have no excuse. Are we sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. No, that still comes across as bloody creepy, is there no way around that? At number 5 there is Ella's Mirror from the Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. It is the capital of the Elven nation. It's a city carved from the living wood in the forest of Duweldenbad. If I could find my copy of Aragon's Guide to Alagasia, I would in fact show you a picture of it, and it's very pretty. It's very peaceful, quiet. Admittedly there's no meat eating allowed in the city, so I wouldn't be able to have any bacon, but I was vegetarian for a while, so I would manage. It would only be a flying visit though, because I'm not sure my nostrils could stand a prolonged stay. Number 4 is Satellite City from the Supernaturalist by Owen Colfer. Something I'm rather disappointed about because he didn't write a sequel to the book, and I really enjoyed it and would have liked to see more, but it was not to be, unfortunately. It could still happen, but probably not. It's set in the near future and the city itself is a massive metropolis, or what's that word, conurbation perhaps? I don't know. And it's controlled entirely by an orbital satellite that allocates rooms, money, controls one's vehicles for driving. It regulates practically every aspect of life, and it has a potential to be incredibly utopian, except of course the company who did it are really dodgy and they don't do it right and people get hurt, and the result is a really gritty and intricate world that I would love to see. I wouldn't want to stay for very long, and if that company had been good it would actually be a wonderful city to live in, but no. Number 3 then is London. Now I know what you're thinking, because London is by no means a fictional city, but it has been the centre of so many fictional stories that there are so many alternate versions of London and hidden worlds beneath it that, well, it's practically an entirely fictional city on its own. Now, of course, the Londons I'm thinking of could be from Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere, A Darker Shade of Magic. There are several versions of London in this and it's quite good. Rivers of London, great one. Fantastic as well. And Harry Potter. There's also the Dark Side books and practically any book set in London with magic you can think of. At number 2 we have the city where Batman hangs up his cape to dry. It is Gotham. It's a very dark and gothic city, but I'd love to go and take some of the technology and see some of the places, because in every version of Gotham that one sees it is exceptionally pretty. It's just not that nice a place to live if you want to avoid psychopathic clowns, walking plants, men with freeze guns and that sort of thing. But, well, it might be nice to meet them if one is heavily armed. And now for some honourable mentions. There is London from Fever Crumb and the Immortal Engine series, but I'm not including this with the other ones because it's so drastically different. It's post-apocalyptic, there's nothing of the old one left, and it's being turned into Attraction City, a city on wheels. There's also Frostmaris from the Ice Mark series, lovely city, especially after it's been rebuilt. And Haven from the Artemis Fowl series, also by Owen Colfer, who's the only author with 2 books on this list. And then at number 1 we have, you guessed right, Ankh-Morpork. Ankh-Morpork is just a sprawling mess of a city. It's the largest city on the disc, it's the most corrupt, it's filled with magical creatures, golems, trolls, dwarves, some pixies. No pixies, fortunately. Home to a wizard's university, and it's a vibrant city that actually feels alive when you read it. It doesn't feel like some of these fictional cities where the whole thing is just as a plot device or as a place for someone to live. But no, it feels like an actual living, breathing and stinking mess of a city, and I love it. It's ruled by Lord Vetinari, someone who makes tyranny sound like a good idea. And It's wonderful. But, as with Gotham, don't go unless heavily armed. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please click like, share and subscribe. In my last video I asked what animal you would be for a day if you could. So I have two answers. If it had to be a real animal, then I would say an eagle. Because, flying, fun, and nothing attacks eagles. You'd be perfectly safe and you could hunt at anything you wanted, flying faster than anything else. And you also look pretty cool. If it doesn't have to be a real animal, then I am going to go for a dragon. Because again, you can fly and nothing attacks a dragon. You can breathe fire and you've got armoured skin. You could do anything as a dragon. Plus, if you're a Chinese dragon, you can fly to China and have people worship you. So my question for today then is, if you could pick any fictional city, where would you choose to live? There are so many to choose from, as evidenced by the number of honourable mentions I had to give. Have an inspired day, and I shall see you probably on Friday. Cheers!